While no one really knows his date of birth, or even year, El Chapo started his career in the drug trade at a young age, distributing marijuana and opium poppy to make ends meet. El Chapo began working for Héctor Luis Palma Salazar, the Guadalajara Cartel's then leader in the 1970s. El Chapo moved up the ranks and established a reputation as a harsh pragmatist and astute businessman. The Sinaloa cartel was founded by him, Palma, and a drug trafficker named Ismael Zambada Garca, and it has since developed into a billion-dollar enterprise. After 13 years on the run, El Chapo was apprehended on February 22, 2014. There's some things that still send a shiver down our spine. So keep watching, because we'll delve into the life of one of the most powerful and wealthy people to have ever existed. Forbes is responsible for ranking El Chapo as one of the world's most powerful people. Forbes not only ranked him as the wealthiest man once, but 3 times in 2009, 2010, and 2011. All this was considering the cartel was responsible for 25% of all the drugs entering the US from Mexico. These drugs had an estimated net worth of $14 billion. Forbes then dropped him, citing his money was sketchy. Estimates of his fortune are between $1 billion and $16 billion. His wealth has varied between reports. Well, it probably topped out at $16 billion before his final arrest. Chances are it's dwindled down to $1 billion as the war on drugs continues, and he doesn't have the same access to running his business as he used to. El Chapo established a trading and shipping operation to aid his drug smuggling empire. This meant that instead of engaging third parties, he maintained the drug trafficking enterprise under his control. It's going to be a shock, so be warned. But El Chapo claims to be responsible for killing 2,000 to 3,000 people. When the elusive drug lord was finally captured by the federal government for the second time in 2014, he confessed, without prompt by the way, he likely killed between 2,000 and 3,000 people, one of them even being an archbishop. This might sound unbelievable to some, but there are plenty of witnesses coming forward since his arrest claiming they have seen the torture, murder, and rape of innocent people. This chilling account is in addition to the people he killed on shooting sprees and knifing sprees when in control of his cartel. The drug lord has had at least 4 wives and 10 children. Most of his children entered the drug trade in the footsteps of their father. El Chapo's son, Edgar, was killed by 40 gunmen. El Chapo increased the degree of violence in return, threatening all-out war. El Chapo's family members are deeply involved in the drug trade, which has resulted in the murder of many of his loved ones. Arturo, his brother, was assassinated in jail. Obed Cano Cepeda, his nephew, was shot and killed during a party. The women in his life have quite some stories attached to them as well, as he's married to a former beauty queen 32 years his junior. When Emma Coronel Espuro met El Chapo, he had his men swarm her beauty pageant party with guns, as he touched down on a plane to meet her that very night. At the age of 17, she announced she was going to marry him. She was born in the US before living in Mexico, where she gave birth to the couple's twins. 7 years ago, she flew to Los Angeles, despite the fact her husband was on the most wanted list. Today, she still throws lavish parties for the twin girls, and seems to be afforded a very comfortable lifestyle. All while claiming she has no idea where her husband's wealth is hidden, as she's his 4th wife, and El Chapo has 10 children. People are sympathetic to El Chapo, and as much as that would surprise you, it's true. There are stories that say El Chapo entered a restaurant, confiscated mobile devices, ordered patrons to be quiet, had his meal, and paid for everyone's inconvenience. However, that must have been a stressful meal, considering he was also known for murdering poor Jehovah's Witnesses who had the misfortune of knocking on his door. However, the area his cartel controlled makes most of their income through the drug trade, so it's no surprise that he's a folk hero in his hometown. El Chapo also poured funds into the economy, repairing infrastructure and assisting the needy. You can buy shirts, caps, and even see children dressed up like him for Halloween in his hometown and surrounding areas. This is because these people loved him for giving them jobs in the drug business, and were in awe of his quick rise to power. While some may be impressed by his generosity, officials are quick to point out that he was only establishing his power, indicating that he, El Chapo, was still alive and in command of his criminal enterprise. When El Chapo was apprehended in 1993, the jail system virtually transformed into his castle, with the guards serving as his hired attendants. He then escaped in 2001 in a laundry cart with the help of a prison guard. The entire plan set him back $2.5 million. With a $5 million price on his head, he was arrested on February 22, 2014, around 6:40 a.m. at a beachside hotel. His identity was verified, and he was flown to Mexico City, where he was sent to the Federal Social Readaptation Center No. 1. El Chapo escaped from a maximum security jail in 2015 by digging a tunnel beneath the showers. The tunnel was over a mile in length. El Chapo's influence reached 5 continents, and he was considered one of the most powerful. In 1993, El Chapo was the target of a strike. At Guadalajara Airport, assassins discovered his vehicle, or at least suspected it was his car, and fired assault rifle bullets into it. El Chapo was actually somewhere else, in a green car not far away. The drug lord even put a price on one former POTUS. El Chapo claimed to have put a $100 million bounty on President Trump's head, after Donald Trump made disparaging comments about Mexico and drugs. In a now deleted Twitter account run by Guzman's son, El Chapo responded to Trump with the huge threat. While this might just seem like another Twitter war to many, Trump was so concerned that he contacted the FBI for protection and proper investigation into the matter. At the young age of 15, he started his own marijuana farm. El Chapo's life was hard and rural, as his father sold drugs to support the family, but rarely did they see the money he earned. El Chapo resorted to selling oranges on the street, as he had no formal schooling. As there was no school, he had to depend on traveling teachers to get the little education he did receive. He finally resorted to running his own marijuana farm to support the family, and thus began his rapid ascent into becoming the most powerful drug lord in history. That's a wrap for this video. Which fact about El Chapo did you find the creepiest? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.